Hello everyone, it's Kendall here. So, it's a get ready with me time. I'm actually planning on filming more than one video today, so if you see me wearing the same makeup and the same clothes, that's because your girl is pre-filming. I'm actually going to be in Virginia this weekend, so if you are in Virginia, Richmond particularly, I will be at the Kim Jong-hyun memorial benefit to talk about all types of social issues, particularly mental health. So I was so excited to be invited to go there. I'll send a link to the explicit information. I know there's a meet and greet on the 7th and that there's the actual event on the 8th. So be sure to check that out down in the description box. Recently, I've been doing my makeup, or like right before I do my makeup, I've been listening to music, and I must say, I've been making some of my favorite looks because of that. So today's look is kind of the feels that I feel when I listen to the new Dean They collaboration. Oh my god. I love They. I love Dean. Y'all know this. And the sheer fact that without me even asking, they just Dean sung a They song, made a remix on it, made it all weird the way he does, and I'm just like, so yes, that's the kind of feeling I'm getting. If you haven't heard the song yet, I'm gonna link that down below because it has that very like warp sound and like the dark R&B kind of like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I think today I'm gonna go completely cake face. So Huda Beauty foundation, yes. I have mine in gingerbread, 430 neutral. I always forget how much fragrance is in this foundation. It's so weird. But that coverage though. So yeah, I've been listening to music before I do my makeup the last few times. And I've always kind of done that anyway. But particularly recently, I've been really into making like, you know, the little Instagram makeup videos. I used to do it here and there, but I didn't realize how therapeutic they kind of are. So I think I'm going to be doing them a lot more. Because it's like, I like doing makeup tutorials, but you know, there's a lot of talking involved. I love doing makeup videos, but like if you do them on YouTube and they're not like a voiceover, there's a lot of talking involved. I've kind of complained about this on Twitter. Like, it takes me so long to edit these videos that are a little longer because I ramble. I am a rambler, and it's just like, shut up. But when you do an Instagram video, I don't talk at all. And I don't really need to have much of a personality. I can just make the video. So sometimes just when I want to like paint on my face and not think about it, Instagram videos are definitely a good way to do that. Also, again, I've been like doing my makeup and listening to music and stuff, so I can like feel what song I want for the video before I even make it. I'll probably even make this get ready with me into an Instagram video, and you'll see like how it comes together. I've been just very much so enjoying it, and since the videos are so short, I can like do cool editing and all that stuff. Ooh, wig is thoroughly snatched, as in it's riding back. If you see my girl slowly like leaving me, it's because I haven't been taping down my wigs recently. I explained that before because my edges on this side was like, stop what you're doing. It actually wasn't the gel though, it was actually me using clips. But like when I don't use clips and when I don't like thoroughly braid my hair down because I don't want to put as much tension on it, my hair is so friggin' big that it just like does not want to cooperate. But yes, Dean has stolen my heart yet again, and it's just like, why do you do this to me? Like, I was out here living my best life, doing nothing to nobody, just trying to keep your girl's wig on, and then he just snatched my edges, and I was like, oh, okay. So what have you guys been up to? Recently, I've been really obsessed with podcasts from Spotify. I think it's just because, I don't know, I think as closer and closer I get to the summer, I'm just feeling more and more motivated. I don't know what is going on. It might be all the sun, because I kind of told you guys before that I'm the type of person that's very like goal oriented. Like, it's not just like I'd prefer to have a goal, it's like I need to have a goal or I don't feel like I'm living. Mood spaces. I don't want to call it depression because I don't think it's serious enough to be called depression, but it's just I get very, very irritated and irritable and kind of frustrated when I don't have like an explicit goal for myself. And recently I've just been listening to like just podcasts about productivity and success and organizing, and it's just very, very like orienting for me. It helps like to know that there are people like me that kind of feel like me, and that's actually been really, really beneficial for them. Like people who are very, very successful in their field, who have been driven to do like really great things because of that like very innate urge to do something and to do something successfully. I'm growing into a place where I'm starting to welcome that pressure. I used to like be very uncomfortable with that. I'm starting to feel like that pressure is supposed to like light a fire as opposed to like scare me off. And that's a very exciting feeling when you kind of reach that realization that everything you do or everything that you can do is up to you. Like all potential is within yourself, and it's your job to like bring it forth and bring the things that you feel into fruition. That's a very frightening and exhilarating feeling at the same time. Starting to feel very capable. And it's not that really that much has changed in my life. It's just, I just feel very capable all of a sudden. And that's just a really beautiful feeling. And I think that's why I've been having like such a drive to create content. You guys have noticed that I've made a lot of videos recently. Like I used to make pretty regular videos anyway, but like I'm making 3-4 videos a week, and it's just because I feel so, how do I put this? I feel so driven to do things. Not just in that kind of way that I always feel like I should do something, or I feel like I'm like wasting time on this earth. That's the kind of feeling I get. It gets very like blown out of proportion. I'm like, your life is so short and you're wasting moments doing nothing but watching Netflix. Like that's how I start to feel. And yeah, I'm just feeling so motivated by music recently. I know you guys are still irritated that I haven't made a video. I've been talking about makeup for so long. I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna give you that playlist, dude. I'm gonna give you that playlist. Have not given the playlist. I don't even have it on my schedule. I'm sorry. But I think a lot of people have noticed that I've been putting like my favorite songs in those Instagram videos I was talking about before. So if you want some dope music, those will always have something, assuming that it doesn't get taken off for copyright. I feel like most musicians don't mind you using their music on like Instagram, so they don't really have like a really harsh copyright thing on it. Like you don't make money off of like ads the way you would YouTube. So it's not necessarily that we're benefited in some huge way unless there's a sponsorship post, in which case I wouldn't make a video, or I wouldn't make like one with music. Now with the good feels comes the not the bad feels, but just the realization that I'm in my early 20s. I had to pay taxes for the first time after my first pretty much full year of doing YouTube full time. Not quite a whole year, but it's so funny because people are like, yeah, YouTubers bring in that bank, and it's like, even if we did, taxes is quite an equalizing feeling, especially if you're self-employed. I am not going to make that mistake again. Your girl is gonna incorporate. Them taxes, though, are like crazy. I wish that the United States government didn't benefit so much from the ignorance of like 20-something-year-olds who don't know how to do their taxes, or haven't done their taxes, or don't know what's the best way to save money when doing taxes. Like, that'd be great. But you know what? Let's be real. That's not gonna happen. So what do I have to do? I have to talk to my dad a lot. My dad is quite knowledgeable when it comes to the whole tax thing and the whole money management thing, and he's such a blessing to have in that regard. In a lot of regards. I don't know why I felt like I was qualifying it. Like, he's kind of terrible in every other. No, he's a great guy. It was just like a wake-up call. I was like, yeah, I did all right. Girl, I'm pulling a Cardi B. I'm like, but what do you do with my money? Because like our roads are still trash. Like where is my money? And then you self-employed, and they get mad at you for being self-employed, I guess, because they don't want you to make no money doing anything that you enjoy. So then they tax you for that. And I'm like, oh, okay, alrighty, all right. One of the things that saved my butt this year is that I just give a lot of money to charity. My parents are always really big on giving to like, just giving to charities, giving to churches, giving both for like an ethical standpoint, but I never knew you could write that off on your taxes. I'm like, oh, well, look at me. I'm trying to be a good person, and it actually works for my taxes. But yeah, I'm super excited about Virginia. There's one girl that said she was bringing me homemade kimchi, and I'm expecting it, so no pressure, but pressure. By the time you're seeing this, you have a few days, so nah, I'm just joking. You don't have to bring me anything, but you said you would, so if you forgot, that's cool, you know, but I do like homemade kimchi, so. Oh, I just remembered something. I was talking on a live stream, and y'all know that my live streams get very, very real very, very quickly. Just whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on YouTube, we tend to kind of like run the gamut of conversation, kind of like get ready with me, but since there's like a constant influx of questions, your question gets answered or could get answered, has the potential to get answered. Somebody was asking me about my ideal type, or what was it? Did I see myself marrying a Korean man? And to be honest with you, that question is always very weird to me. Like, do you see yourself marrying a whatever ethnicity man? Personally, I don't see myself marrying a specific ethnicity. That's never been something that's been like a big deal to me. I think more so than it's like a preference to Asians or black people or whoever people, it's just a probability. All the men I know are black or Korean. I don't know that many, and I know one white guy, Aaron. And what I was saying in the live stream is like, I think people put too much weight on their preferences. To be honest, yeah, I would prefer him be like drop dead gorgeous. Or would I? That would actually be very intimidating. Actually, I would prefer him to be tall, you know? I would prefer him to be this. I'd prefer him to be that. But at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is the type of character they have, right? It's like, if you're beautiful today and live long enough, you're going to be old and wrinkly. Like, what good is your beauty then? Like, it has no consequence to, like, what quality of man you are, what quality of person you are. I think I'm going to do this one. I want red in this because I feel like... No, orange, because I'm wearing, like, orangey tones. We'll do orange. Red and orange. Why not? Yeah, like I was saying, one day you're going to be ugly, and what good is your beauty at that point? Like, if you can't do nothing to help me in dire straits, because hard times come, right? And if you're supposed to be spending your life with this person, or you have that intention of spending, you know, your life with a person, you can't just be a pretty face. You actually have to, like, do something. Like, you need to be dependable. You need to be able to help me when I get old. And like I'm doodling the bed, like what you gonna do? Like when, you know, things are seemingly falling apart, where are you? That's something that's that's something that I think about. I think the reason why I think about that so much is because like my family is like incredibly dependable. Like my dad, my mom, everyone's just always there for you. Something that really scares me is suddenly not having that support that I used to have. Like I feel like I've been very blessed with my family. They're just incredible people. I mean, we all have our faults, but like overall, like I love my family. And I often think about like when this transition happens where I'm no longer just a daughter, but I'm a wife, I'm a mother, you know, and I'm trying to build these foundations that are very, very important, like sustaining a family. I get like mild anxiety when I even think of like someone who I can't depend on to help me. Like that terrifies me. My parents have been together for 30 some odd years. They've been through their ups and downs and blah, 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 but they've like still like a trustworthy foundation for each other and all that stuff. And I just couldn't imagine marrying someone I can't trust, marrying someone who like step out on me, like all these things. Like my mom never had to deal with, and I never had to by default be the receiver of like that negativity. Me and my sister, we've relatively been pretty chill human beings the entirety of our lives. I never really had a rebellious streak. So it's just like I couldn't imagine having a kid that was just like stuff like that really freaks me out. I like switched around my makeup collection when I bought some new organization, and now I ironically don't know where anything is. But yeah, for the most part, like my childhood, my adulthood in many ways has been relatively smooth. And so like I don't know. I think that's why I don't put up with drama. Like, I just don't have the time for it. Because I've lived my life without it, and I've lived my life with it to some extent. And it's just like, ooh, I prefer not. So I just couldn't imagine myself being in, like, a relationship with someone that brings just a lot of stress and strife into my life, because I've been living golden for so long. The entirety of my life. One of the few things that makes me a little sad about that, though, is that because I haven't been through a lot of like really difficult situations, sometimes I feel like I don't have the capacity. I don't know what to say in situations where people want me to like console them. I really appreciate that people feel so comfortable to come to me for advice and like really hard times, but sometimes I just like, I don't know what to say. People have told me that I helped them in some way, and I'm just in there like, this helped you. Okay, good. I'm glad that you found some help, but I had no idea what I was doing. And I kind of like always say like, yo, I'm not a professional. I'm not like probably your best bet, but I'm here to talk if you want to talk. But I feel like if I had been through some harder situations, I'd be able to like sympathize and stuff a little better. But the initial point of me bringing this up, we were talking about ideal types, right? I've kind of like lived my life with so much structure, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I've had so much structure. I like that structure, but I also like that being like, oh, in the wind. So like weirdly enough, I feel like my ideal type, someone that I would end up being with, would be someone that's very, very structured. Someone who's very dependable. They live by their scruples. They're just very much so know what they want in their lives. One of the downsides to that type of personality, we would get in fights because that type of personality is very uncompromising. But I feel like we would balance each other out because I feel like I can see the validity in a lot of things, so I like waver sometimes. Where this person is just like, I know what I want, I don't compromise for what I want, this is how I feel, this is why I feel it, and this is why I will always feel that way. I feel like because we would balance each other out, we would, there's some butting heads in that. But I feel like that's necessary to some extent. Like, I could never imagine marry someone like exactly like me. Oh, I don't even like people exactly like me. Also, I feel like the person that I would end up with wouldn't be someone that's like very vocal about affection. Like I've been thinking about that too. I don't know. I think about the weirdest things with like ideal types. It has nothing to do with like a visual. It has everything to do with like our interactions and like how I would interact with this person. Like generally speaking, I'm not a super affectionate person until I very much so consider you either a friend or like someone I'm very interested in. I'm very willing to like say words of affection, but like people that are just able to like go up to a random stranger and be like, oh my God, you're so hot. Like, I feel like that's so weird to me. Or like people who fall in love super quickly. Like I don't in-zone that. I don't understand that because like I've never been in love. I barely like people in general. But with that said, when I do, I'm very vocal about it. Like, oh, that black is pigmented. Let me be careful. I think I would probably end up being with a person that doesn't really say a lot of words of affection, which is fine to me. I actually don't mind. Like, I'm very willing to say them. But as long as you're doing the things that prove that you love me, that's all that I need. Like, again, I need dependability. I need someone who's like going to be there. I can't deal with the BS like, oh, I love you so much, but you don't do anything I need. Like you're not there. You don't help me. You're not of any benefit to me in like any actual circumstance. But you love me so much. You just love me so much. And I'm like, I'd rather, again, you'd never say it. I'd rather you like give me this face like every time I say I love you, but you actually like do things like that show that you love me. I mean, of course, everyone shows love in a different way. I mean, there's some people that are like find that to be very, very important. Like someone saying, I love you. I appreciate you. I feel this way about you. I feel this way about you. But I feel like I know. I would know. So if I had to choose between the two, I'd rather you just do instead of just saying it all the time. It's like, originally I was going to do this video in Korean, but then I realized I'm really behind on recording because I got to pre-record before I go to Virginia. So I don't have time to do subtitles, but I will try to do a Get Ready With Me in Korean soon. Is what I will say. I don't know if that means anything to you because a bunch of time I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that video eventually. And it takes me 6 months. But as long as I do it, I did it, okay? But I don't know. I've been feeling like such an adult recently. Again, tax season really brought it out of me. It's like, oh, well, let me start saving for a retirement. Let me start saving for this. Let me start saving for that. Do I want to move into an apartment? And I've been thinking about that for a minute, but it doesn't make sense right now. Logistically, I still haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna go to Korea to teach for a year. I might just say nah and just visit again. I've been enjoying visiting. I think that's been fun for me. I plan to go to Korea again this year, saving up for that. That's why the tax thing really hurt me. I was like, like I knew I had to pay taxes, but God, trying to go in like July. Maybe I'll even hit up Singapore. Or the Philippines, somewhere in Southeast Asia. I know a lot of people, well, they're not from the Philippines. They're like, they live in the their family is from the Philippines. So I was going to ask them for like advice. Tammy's Filipino. For those of you that saw Tammy, who know Tammy. So like ask her about places to go in the Philippines because she goes there to visit family. Also, if you're in the Philippines, and you would have advice of things to do. Or if you're in Singapore, for that matter, and have advice. I have Claire for Singapore, though. She knows a lot about Singapore because she lives there. Maybe Malaysia. I've noticed that since the video about dark skin in Korea, I've gained quite a few subscribers in Southeast Asia. So hopefully if you're watching this, you can give me some advice. I don't know. That video was so funny though. I've noticed like whenever I do like videos that are kind of like me talking about an opinion about, I didn't even realize it's a controversial topic. Like, oh, who are you to judge Koreans on their like standards of beauty? I was like, I don't give a crap. Korean standards of beauty. This video has nothing to do with that. It was just so funny. People got so offended without watching the video. So like, if you ever notice that people have been commenting Susan under people that haven't watched the video all the way and then have something smart to say, I told people to do that on Twitter. So when I start calling people Susan, it's because y'all just like to complain. Y'all always like, can I talk to your manager, sir? Before you actually finish watching the video. But yeah, people didn't understand that that video had nothing to do with criticizing Korean beauty standards. At the end of the day, if you want to wear whatever foundation, you're going to wear it. It doesn't need to look nice to me. If you like it, you like it. I think you look like a powdered donut. But at the end of the day, it's your decision whether or not you want to look like a powdered donut with a tan neck. Like, it's not my business. My point is, there are people that don't want to look like a powdered donut. And you also look darker because you can see like how dark your neck is. And I'm like, speaking of like tan skin, I have been watching the most gorgeous YouTuber. Her name is Mate, and her channel is called This Is Mate, I believe. And she's a very, very tan Korean woman who like models and stuff, and she's so pretty. So pretty. And she does like makeup tutorials, so I was watching her trying to figure out, well, what do you use? And she uses NARS. I'm like, girl, you shouldn't have to use NARS, but I know you do. It's just so expensive in Korea. That's the thing that people didn't understand in that video too. They were like, well, they could just use foreign brands. It's like, do you know how expensive foreign brands are in Korea? Like a NARS foundation is like what, $40-something in the United States. In Korea, that bad boy is upcharged by like double. It's like a $80 foundation. It's nothing new. Something that's been happening in Western beauty all over the world, actually. Her channel is entirely in Korean though, so if you don't speak Korean, I don't know how much you would enjoy Bate, but I've been liking to watch her vlogs. I've been liking watching vlogs in general recently. I was never a vlog person, but now I kind of get it. It's like you don't necessarily watch the entire vlog. You have it on as something like playing in the background. Probably what you're doing right now. You're probably not watching this actual video, but I'm so happy I actually have clean brushes. This is a look that you need like extra clean brushes or you're kind of screwed. And for once, your girl has actually been, has her brushes clean. It's funny because the reason why they are is because somebody on Twitter was like, yo, you should put them in the washing machine in a laundry bag. And I was like, it worked. Some of my brushes came off the ferrule, but I would rather like super glue them back together than have to wash all of them individually. Like, I'm never doing that again. Okay, so that's all for today. Don't forget to like this video if you like this video, because apparently that matters these days. Follow me on my social media, Twitter and Instagram, because it be getting lit, especially on Instagram. And like real Instagram baddie recently. Subscribe to the shenanigans. We upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.